wise man once told me, if you lose money, you lose nothing. If you lose your health, you lose something. But if you lose yourself, you lose everything. And that's kind of where I'm at. And so I really needed to go somewhere in raw nature and just really just go and find myself. Looking at my past and also the things I remember in my childhood was always, being out in nature, going on trips with my dad, having these beautiful walks through forests. I grew up in Switzerland. Everything's quite pristine and there's beautiful creeks and rivers. And so I really knew I need to find myself. I think it was around 4 weeks ago, I found myself on the front porch at my house in Abbotsford, slamming down some mercury ciders, hard ciders, and just found myself totally lost. And I got a lovely partner, Elena is her name, and she just gave me a good rundown and just like, well, you better get off your arse or I'm out of here. And that's when I realised that I actually was right at the abyss. And so my previous approaches were just like, alright, like I had to do something about it, so let's put a band-aid over it, and then that's okay for a little while, and then I get to the same point. So this time I said to myself, well, that hasn't been working, and I've been doing this for way too long. So I just thought, okay, this time, no more excuses. So I started reaching out, and for some reason I got onto this guy named Darvis, and somehow, I don't know how it all happened, but I pulled off that he takes me on a solo trip out in the Tarkine. Just out here, and I set myself a really clear intention when I got onto when I got onto the land after the boat ride, and my intention is that I make peace with myself. Before I came here, I was just running on adrenaline. I was in a good way because everything dawned on me, like that I need to do some work on myself, that I wasn't happy with myself, that I didn't respect myself, that I didn't love myself, that I hated what I've been doing. When I put foot on this land, I just had this feeling that I'm home, like it's very welcoming. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just so peaceful. Like, one thing I noticed was when I was back in Melbourne, I was constantly complaining about the weather. Oh, the weather's terrible, can't do any work, it's so bad being a roofer, it's raining all the time, right? Jeez, man. I just wasn't at peace with myself. And now it's raining, I'm getting wet. And it's a beautiful thing. You just come here, you set camp, you leave your gear laying around like your drone, it costs X amount of money. And you walk away, it's like, shit, maybe I should put it away. There's nobody here. It's like, there's nobody here. It's 10 to 9. Had an interesting night. walked to an amazing place. They call the Cauldron. I took a log from there earlier on. And as we were walking back, Darvis asked me to actually lead the way. I tried to got him back to camp in pitch black. Yeah, what I've really taken away from it is that I'm still stuck in my inner child stage. I realized that I hardly ever listen because I always jump straight away into action. So I realized tonight that it's actually very nice just to sit back, listen, inquire about what needs to be done so that I'm clear what I need to be doing. Now we are around 10 k's from base camp, and we went really from the headlands, walked through the headlands, and now we just made it into a total different landscape, and it's kind of bizarre. I had to go through a river just before. We went through many creeks. There's lots of puddles. I'm pretty wet, but it's all worth it. Like, I don't know, like this place does something to you. I can't describe it. I feel so unimportant and grounded. And there's nobody around. Not a single person. So tomorrow I'm gonna go solo. I'm gonna find myself a nice spot. Let it all soak in. So today's the day I go solo. So I'm just gonna go get a cup of tea, just dip my dishes in the creek. So I'm just gonna make a cup of tea, and then I pack up my stuff, and then I head over to the Cauldron. I've got a real good idea how I integrate a lot of things I learned here in my personal transformation into the real world. I've got a plan for the business. I got many tools, so I don't react and jump into loops. It's a really steep learning curve, and as I said, it's a lot of work to do, and it's a challenge, and I love a challenge, so I'm gonna keep going with this, but I need to make myself some time. I need to make myself some room. So I'm off solo. Just picked up some water from the creek, so I can cook my dinner later, can have a cup of tea. So that's all sorted. So I'm gonna head to the Cauldron, which is a pretty wild place. Alright, so now I made it into the Cauldron. It's a wild place. So yeah, now I just have to put my backpack down somewhere because I was just getting too hot, and yeah, now I'm just finding a place where I can set camp. Found the spot, I set camp. Pretty happy sitting in my chair in the sun. So yeah, lunch, then I'm out there. But yeah, I'm really happy with the spot. It's the waves are thrashing, so there will be a bit of noise all throughout the night. I quite like that. It's very soothing, and yeah, it will be interesting. I have to be back at 10 AM tomorrow because we're going to catch the ferry at 12 to head back to Corinna. Just have that feeling of spaciousness, and just like it's just there, and it's just like it's just you. But the thing is, what I've really taken away from there is just like I have so much personal growth in terms of I learned so much about myself and my environment and people around me. I learned so much about the dynamic between the masculine and the feminine, which is like priceless knowledge. Got so many new tools, and it's like I'm just equipped, like I can conquer the world.